and welcome to the Good Wife Podcast. And guess who I am with? I am hanging with the incredible, the adorable, the incomparable Angie I have thought about this intro. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll be calm, cool and collected. But I'm like, no. Those of us who know Angie, those who really know Angie, she's anything but calm.
Fire.
although she has her quiet ice moments, but you're mostly fire. Would you describe yourself that way?
Yes.
Fire.
Yes. Yes. I'm a passionate, creative human being.
Are.
Yes.
You really are.
But those moments when I need my cold, the world just switches off.
And we're all like, what's happening with Angie? Angie, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, guys, I'm fine. I'm okay. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just,
yeah, and we slowly got to understand each other.
We got used to it.
Yeah, like 1 o'clock, if lunch wasn't there, we knew who would be
hungry. So fun fact, Angie was on over here and she was hungry. She was telling people that, I'm going to see Rachel. I'm almost sure there is food. Because when I met Angie and when we started working together, I was always the hungry one.
Always.
Like, guys, are we going, is there food? Any?
For someone so tiny,
I know.
You are always hungry.
Always hungry. So when she walked in here and I was like, there's no food. She was like, what? So we've been scampering, trying to find her a snack, and we were a bit successful before we came on the air. So welcome, Angie.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you.
It's so good to be seated on the set with you again.
You know how long I talked about this?
Yeah. And little did we know that the Lord has plans. The rest of us are just fooling around.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it has come to pass that I am finally here doing this after years. Guys, I want to start my own channel. I want to start my own channel.
And I think the beauty of this relationship is that we are always in each other's both wings. I'm like,
go, Angie. So like now, yes, I've been seeing what you're doing and we are going to get into that discussion. But I'm so happy you're here. How have you been?
Good.
So maybe let me take this back for the audience that is new. Yes. I met Angie a little over 5 years ago.
Yes.
On the set of Bump Love.
Yes.
I had never heard about Angie, but I knew of her work.
Yes.
So I knew of Pink Coconut work. And so when I met her, I was like, she's the Angie behind Pink Coconut. And we went on to do amazing work for about 5 years.
Yes.
And then in March of this year, we went our separate ways, but we've stayed in touch.
Yes.
And like you have said, we are constantly rooting for each other.
Yes.
Angie came to a Good Wife session in July.
Yeah.
I was so happy. It really warmed my heart to see you there. And she was just telling me earlier that, by me, I like these marriage things. I know you like those marriage things.
I do.
Yes.
I do. And that, I cried.
Yes, you did.
And I don't cry much these days.
Oh, don't you?
No, I'm all cried out. But it was different.
It was different.
It was different. Just sitting in a room of like-minded people who you can see are rooting for each other.
Yes,
I'm out there when you're like, oh my gosh, you saw this and this, and I'm like, But when you find a place where, like, what? Did you do that? How was it? Can I also try?
Yeah.
It was like a room of just positive, loving, spiritual
energy, human beings. It was amazing.
Yes.
It was amazing.
I love that, and I would definitely, but me, I'm a sucker for love, marriage, things. Relationships, partnerships.
Yes.
No one should be alone.
No one should be alone.
No one should be alone.
Yeah. And yet love, like we have seen, is complicated or can be complicated depending on the individuals involved.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, where have you been? What have you been doing? I mean, I see you on the Instagram streets. But I'd like to hear from you. So consider this our catch-up. Since we parted ways.
Yeah. What have I been doing? This year, I think for the past 5 years, it's like, I'm like, this was a crazy year. Then another one comes.
And you're like, but this was a crazy year.
Does the other one. And I'm like, this is a crazy year.
Yeah.
But this year has been something.
Yeah.
It has stretched me beyond my limits. It's broken every single bone I think I have in my body.
Yeah.
But yet I also knew that I had to break to be able to build.
Yes.
You know, on a side note, you know, I've been doing up my house.
Yes.
Rach, never renovate your home.
Really?
Throw the damn thing down and build again.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw that. I've seen it with the house, and I've seen with what happened with me. With me, I broke down and started building again.
Wow.
Every year, I think I break and then I build.
Build again.
So my house, when I look at it, I'm like, I'm glad that I broke. I'm glad I broke myself to be able to build again. So this year has been a lot of breaking, starting again, rediscovery, understanding myself even better, getting my body into the shape that I have been, you know.
Guys, Angie was not like this when we were on Bump Love.
No.
She wasn't.
No.
And
I was never big.
No, but you were also not small.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
So I bumped into you, I think, a couple of weeks before the Good Wife meetup.
Yes.
And I'm like, are you okay? Like, what happened? You lost so much weight.
Yes.
But you say it was intentional.
I have been so intentional about everything this year.
Yeah.
And I'll tell this to any girl out there. When women are intentional,
the things you
when
can
women are
achieve.
intentional, the things you'll achieve, it's something else. So I was intentional about this journey as well. I was.
I mean, one of the things that we are seeing from this breaking and building is be real, be raw. I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know if it's like a campaign. Is it an initiative? Is it a movement?
It's a movement.
Ooh.
You hit right. Exactly.
I expected
it's a
nothing.
movement.
I expected nothing less. Yes.
This is a movement.
It's a movement.
It's a movement of women. Women like me who feel that it is time for us to redeem ourselves.
To pivot.
To pivot, you know, from this toxicity of, and I'm an independent woman. Yes, you are. But when you come into a relationship, it's time for us to come blend together.
Yes.
You know, interdependency. Oh.
Actually, before you go to the interdependency, there was a video that you did that went viral. What was it, 2 or 3 months ago?
No.
It's a while back.
Almost 5.
About 5 months ago.
About 5 months ago.
And you were talking about, what was it? Like independent women and
Yes.
our journey in relationships.
Yes.
So tell us where that came from.
Once again, I told you, like literally every year, I'll break something so that I can build. So little did I know, and sometimes I don't do it knowingly. Little did I know that whilst I was breaking into, whilst I was bringing out my vulnerability for so long, I had built these walls around me because I realized when you show people your weakness,
they take advantage.
They take advantage for it, and then that's where they come and bore holes and make it, you know, make large holes in your life. So I was very cautious about heading in that direction. As I said before the show, we spoke about this for almost 2 years with Oscar, and he would be like, there must be a story inside of you. And I said, I have sung all the songs that I have to sing.
I don't have any more.
But along the way, you know, those epiphany moments come, and I called Oscar and I said, Oscar, come today I have a story.
Wow.
And we sat and recorded, and he's an amazing director and producer. So he just told me, get in there. What people want to see is authenticity.
That's true.
And the beauty that comes from just being who you are. When it first came out, I was like, oh my God, maybe people will pity me. Maybe people will think, oh, I looked old.
I know what you mean.
But people love authenticity, especially in the world that we live in that has so much not fake, but so much, there's so many filters, you know, that when you find somebody who speaks from the heart, and we all can, it's just that we have so many inhibitions, and I think those are some of the things that over the years I've learned to set aside. I realize people connect with me more the more genuine and authentic
that you are.
That I am.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so
I'm
true.
now working on confidence for, you know, like public speaking and everything.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't she already sound confident?
Yeah, but you know, because I'm with you, Ray.
Okay, I know. But I feel like I have seen you in where you, I guess maybe it depends on what you're talking about. So if it's like creative space, deco space, you are bold about like the stuff that you have.
Yes, that's true.
But I have also seen you struggle. So I get what you mean.
Yes, absolutely. But once again, this journey has, anything I've ever struggled at is the thing that I am now. Like before, I was never big, I was never small. I was just, you know, that Kuwait that is always just there.
You're not bad, but you're also not
You know, we were constantly on and off diets within us girls and everything. Then I reached a point, I said, but hold up. All I need to do is just stick to one thing that works, one thing that's realistic, get a gym closer to home, so you don't have a situation of, oh, I did not go because I was stuck in transport in traffic or anything like that. And then it worked. When I saw that working, I was like,
okay, who would have known?
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
I remember you saying you go to the gym every day, and I was like, first of all, that does not sound like Angie. I'm like, how do you do it?
I know.
Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And you were consistent.
Yes.
And then I saw you many months later, and I was like, okay.
Yes.
Results.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Results. And those are the things we forget when a woman says she's lost in a relationship. It's usually the fact that she has no hobbies. There's nothing there are no goals that you're pursuing. But now when you wake up and then you get up and then you get into the gym, Rachel, I can spin.
Really?
And even if I've entered the gym and I'm thinking, okay, what have I forgotten? Is everything set for B-roll? When I get in there and the music comes on, it's like,
you enter a zone.
Today, I'll tell every young girl out there, exercise.
Yeah.
Many of the problems we have in relationships is that he meets you when you exercise, and then because now you're clinging on to him and blending into his character, then if I go to the gym, then maybe he'll complain. Then before you know it, the nagging begins because you're not expending any of that energy.
Yes.
I have so much energy in me, Rach. Hey.
And you need to expend it somewhere.
Yes,
do something with your hands, with your brain.
Yes.
I love it.
So, and that's what I think this year has been a lot about, breaking out of the mold, trying new things, taking risks. You know, Be Real, Be Raw was birthed from a simple video. A simple video of a woman just coming out and speaking her truth. And then before you know it, I got onto social media. I'm reading. I got so many messages,
I
Rachel.
can imagine. I can imagine.
Hurting.
They are.
And the worst part is why I decided to do this is that they are hurting because of what they're seeing on social media.
That's true.
Everybody's coming onto social media and telling us how fantastic their lives are. Where are the young girls going to learn from?
If everybody's life is fantastic, are you not making mistakes?
Do you get me? Where is that 50-year-old lady who is thinking maybe my life is over? Where is she going? Who's she listening to? You know? And Be Real, Be Raw is for the girl who has dreams of being in a healthy relationship. It's for the girl in waiting.
Yes.
It's the girl who is in love, who is in marriage and wants to cement their relationship. It's also for the girl who feels she's losing herself.
That part.
Yeah.
In a relationship or out of a relationship?
In the relationship, because out of the relationship you can take care of yourself. But when you get into the relationship and you feel that you are literally being sucked into this abyss, that girl is the girl we are speaking to. I'm also speaking to the girl who is ready to leave.
Wow.
ready to leave.
Yeah.
But you still have that small iota of hope that maybe
it can still work.
Maybe it could work. And of course, I'm also speaking to the ladies like we are, whereby you're at peace.
Yeah.
In whichever form you see peace in, whether you're in a relationship or you're not, because be real goes beyond just simple relationships with others. It's also mostly about yourself.
Yes.
Self-love,
Yes.
self-confidence,
Yes.
you know.
We could speak about this forever. I see the passion in your voice.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and I want to hear, because usually, yes, you mentioned people relate to authenticity. There was an Angie in her marriage, and I know you've shared this on some platforms, but there are things that you knew to be true about marriage. What are the mistakes that you made that then led to that video that we saw, and then have also led to Be Real, Be Raw?
Be Raw.
Yeah.
I think the first mistake, whichever way it came, was for me to imagine that independency, being independent would work in a relationship. There's just no space for it.
It's not there.
As an individual, yes. But when we come together, it's like, for example, they always say, our money, our child,
our home.
Our home.
Yes.
How about you talking about my independence? No, our interdependency.
Yeah.
So in the process of trying to fill a void, you know, and that void was caused by myself, because all of a sudden I turned OJ into my life, and you're not supposed to do that. So
that's not what interdependence is.
No. You have to remain doing the things that you've been doing, having the friends that you have. A lot of times people are like, oh, this guy changed, or this lady changed. But you found, when I had 5 friends, why would you think that those 5 friends would go away just because we've come together?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times that interdependency has that bit of friction, because people fail to understand, yes, we can be interdependent, but we'll have our separate hobbies. Space for me to miss you. You know, the love messages are fantastic, 2, 3 a day. But if you're checking on me all the time, then
every 2 hours,
you know. And then what really led to, as in the video and Be Real, Be Raw, is, I don't know if other people know about this story. You do, but maybe I would explain it again. Is I was chronically exhausted all the time, you know, and I didn't know when I was waking up or going to bed. And what that did is that I started falling sick. You know, chronic fatigue will bring you all sort of mysterious illnesses. All of a sudden your thumb is swelling and you don't know why. You get fevers at odd times. People are feeling hot, you're feeling cold. Menopause is also there, but you know, the body isn't being given a chance to rest. So I remember that particular morning I woke up. The alarm had gone off at 3, so I was taking my pills, I had water and my antibiotics, so I took them, and I decided to go to the bathroom. And when I got there, I peed, and when I stood up, usually I switch off the lights before I go to the bedroom. I walk to the bathroom without switching on the lights, but that day I switched them on. And when I turned around, I see what I was expecting, like deep yellow urine, right? And what I saw was a red brownish liquid. Wow. It was later I was told that my kidney was done. Was failing. It was failing to filter the mess and the stress and the waste and everything that was inside of me. And that's when I tell people my bedroom is the cutest place in my...
It's your sanctuary.
My sanctuary. Because many things happen there. I cry there, I laugh there, I was there. So there I was standing in front of my mirror. Tired, sick, lonely. Frustrated, angry. With the biggest bank account balance.
Wow. What a combination.
And I said, there has to be something
There has to be
to
more.
life.
Yeah.
When all these people singing your praises are gone,
What do you have left?
what are you left with?
Yeah.
And by this time, remember, you've already ruined your relationship. And it's about blaming. Oje didn't do this, he didn't do that, he didn't, but he
listen
didn't.
to me.
But you get into that space and you're like, he didn't, but what did you do?
What did you do?
And that period surrounded by girls, they said, I don't have girlfriends, but every week or so that we end up on Bump Love and you're listening, what's that word you always...
Introspective.
Introspect was the word.
Introspect.
And you listen to introspect. You listen to people managing, being able to manage your emotions, being able to sit and listen.
Yes.
And then I said, but if we can do this for other areas of our life, why don't we concentrate on doing the same with our relationships?
Yeah.
So by the time I walked onto the show with you guys, I was already on that journey where we have now reached a point where we are friends. Yeah.
Got it.
And that took, being able to appreciate OJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even for the small things.
Yeah.
You know, people are always like, oh yeah, appreciate the
Even
small,
the small things. Yes.
Appreciate the small things.
Yeah.
Gratitude. Practicing
Gratitude, yes.
Practicing of gratitude, you know, being able to listen. I'll tell, listening is such a powerful tool. Skill.
Yeah.
Where you listen and you're not listening because you want to
Want to
respond. No. You're listening to really listen. And then that's when I came up with the girlfriend mode technique.
Huh?
When we were girlfriends, we listened.
This is true.
We listened to what he likes to eat.
Yeah.
We listened to even listen for what he fears, because no man is going to come straight up and tell you, I'm
afraid of this now.
The only way you will know that is by listening.
I hope the girls are listening.
Yes, because even when men are with their boys, I think Mark said that on one of the shows. It's like, all we do is that you just come, sit, man, you listen small. Just being able to listen was one of the things that really, really, really changed us.
Wow.
And the more I listened, I realized he started to listen to me more. Forget those things of, when are you coming home? But it's now late. No, you're just talking to a wall.
Yeah.
Here we got an opportunity to listen to each other. And then before I knew it, we were friends again.
You used to talk about it on the show and I'd be like, how did she achieve that? How did she come from those years of turmoil? I'm even packing your bags and...
Oh yes, we had to pack. Oh, today even if you told me to pack,
you are not going
I'm
anywhere.
living nowhere. Baby, I live in coffin. Because
like you vowed. Like you vowed.
When your relationship is working, it's such an amazing thing, because
it really is.
It literally seeps into every
other
facet
area
of your life, you know.
True.
And that was my why. I was like, we can make it easier.
We can.
For others.
Yes.
Everybody doesn't have to go through that hell, you know, that hell
in order to achieve what you and OJ have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even if they do, because at the end of the day, your experience is your experience. But it helps to know that, you know what, I'm going through a really tough time. But Kemi said, hers was bad, and she made it through. So that thing, you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh gosh, again. Then you're like, you know what?
I can do this.
I can do this. Somebody else
Someone
did.
else gone ahead of me.
Yeah.
And they have. Oh, wow. So, be real, be raw. There are things that you are hoping to pass on to other women. I think, like you have said, I think on men, maybe it's towards women. Is that your core focus?
For this particular one, it's women.
For women.
We're going to get to the men.
We will.
Yes, we will.
Because we are in this with them.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
100%. So there's something you said that I thought was very powerful, that when you've been through a journey, you want to pass on the things you have learned so that other women don't have to go through the entire journey that you've been through.
Yeah.
And there are many things that you can learn from other people's experiences.
Yes.
To make, because Ben says this a lot, that marriage is not complicated. We're the ones who are complicated.
Yes.
You know? And there are things you want to achieve from the session that's happening in November. I read one of them, actually all of them. And I was like, I want this. At least I did in the first 7 years of my marriage.
Yeah.
Ghetto years. And you were saying, discover how to effortlessly keep the upper hand in your relationships without manipulation.
Yes.
You know that many of us women manipulate and we don't know we are manipulating.
Yes.
But by becoming the natural choice for his heart and mind.
Yes.
I was like, this would be every woman's dream.
Yes.
You know, that your husband naturally gravitates towards you. But you hear so many stories of women who are like, oh, there's silent treatment. Oh, he's not talking to me. Oh, I don't understand why we're always fighting. So what was your thought process in thinking about some of the themes? Can I read all of them and then you can comment?
Sure. There's a thread through all of them.
Through all of them.
Yes.
The other one was master the transition from attraction to unbreakable connection, ensuring that he sees you as the woman he needs, not just once. This is true because we start with attraction.
Yes.
And then we get in there and we're wearing the big telecom t-shirts when we enter bed.
Yeah.
We're not taking care of ourselves anymore. And then discover how to flip the script on emotional dynamics, turning his hot and cold behavior into steady, genuine commitment.
Yes.
I don't understand the hot and cold behavior, but usually it is brought on by our emotions sort of being all over the place. Is that it?
Is there another one you were reading?
Yes, there's another one. Let me read the last one. It says, master the art of subtle yet powerful communication that reaches deep into a man's mind, triggering his desire for you, whether you're meeting for the first time or already in a relationship.
Yes.
I'm like, these are really beautiful goals.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was the thought process behind them?
Communication.
Wow.
I lost everything you just spoke about because of lack of communication.
Really?
We failed to get to that point earlier on. You know, you get excited, you get into the relationship, no boundaries, no rules, and then after you start realizing that there are actually some deal breakers, but you're already inside of the relationship. Now that's when communication comes in. If you're not able to cultivate a good communication culture, then you're just piling problems on top of problems, and then before you know it, you have a gap. Usually affairs, things go bad, things fall apart during the communication gap.
Yeah.
The way we speak, the way we effectively communicate, the way we move. Imagine if you're saying, but babes.
And not, what would the alternative be?
OJ. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Your intonation, your gestures, the way you approach a subject, then the ability to hold, to wait. I wouldn't want to put out all the entire framework, but for example, we started having those weekly love sessions, and I told you guys I would write before, because I can't.
Your list of things.
My list of I write. But by Friday, I'm looking at the thing that made me so mad on Monday,
and it
doesn't
hold.
You know, so there are small tricks and tips that can be able to help you navigate literally every scenario there. But the bedrock of it all is communication.
Absolutely.
Once communication is lost, silent treatment is a terrible thing.
It's terrible.
It's it's just a grown-up's way of sulking. Yeah. You know, and then you want to communicate, then you don't want to communicate. So the hot and cold usually comes from the fact that I'm not sure whether today you want to communicate as a sane human being, or you just want to speak for yourself. Yeah. So communication is at the bedrock of be real, be raw.
Wow, I love it. I just wanted to expound real quick on your love sessions, because I had told you I'm going to borrow a leaf from that book. So Angie and her hubby have this thing. You meet every week, right?
Weekly love sessions.
Weekly
yes.
love sessions.
Yes.
And tell us what the...
Because
like,
of
what
the nature of our lifestyle and work, sometimes, you will go 2-3 days, you're like, passing ships in the night. But if you know that you have those sessions, usually almost 3, 4, 5 hours. And on a side note, in the beginning, it was 30 minutes of,
You tell me your things. I also tell you mine.
Okay, kali, yeah. But now you find yourself seated there saying nothing.
Mostly nothing, yeah.
But you are at peace.
Yeah.
The backlog is out of the way and you're just concentrating on listening to each other. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Some days we are bringing back the girlfriend mode. Initially we're calling it the other woman, but no.
The girlfriend mode.
The girlfriend mode. Yes. That listening, you can go back to the time when you used to just wake up and watch him sleep.
Wow.
You even know his sleep pattern, that this type of snoring means he's completely knocked out.
Oh,
girls, don't use that opportunity to check the phone.
Say that again. That's not the time to check his phone.
No, that's not the time to check his phone. You know that now he's at peace, and so can I mean, you're already in your bubble, he's in his bubble, but you're able to live together with in harmony. In harmony.
Yeah. I like that. I really do, and I think marriage. So there's a lot of intentionality that goes into staying married. There's a lot of work that goes into staying married, and just you guys setting aside that time every week to say, look, we have a busy schedule, but every week you and I are going to meet and we'll have conversations. Of course, in the beginning it's going to be awkward. Maybe you've spent time and you've just been moving on functional mode. The kids are okay, school fees has been paid, okay, and like you don't even remember how to be friends with your person.
Yes.
I want you to expound on the girlfriend mode a bit, but after I comment on this, the importance of this session of like actually setting aside time to connect with your person. It makes such a world of difference. And you made me laugh when you said that, because you're talking about maybe things that he has done during that week that maybe have upset you or made you feel some type of way. But then you write it on Monday, and then by Thursday you're feeling like, I don't really care about it much.
It wasn't that much.
It's such a therapeutic process.
Yes.
You're learning how to be, what's the term in the Bible? Long-suffering, not to keep a record of wrongs, because you reach the end of the week and you're like, I don't need to bring this up.
Exactly, and yet if you hadn't written it down, then you feel like it's this brand new idea that has to be told now. But when you, Kale, that day, I didn't pick up, yet we were supposed to be having lunch. But then on Tuesday, you look at it and you're like, even without asking, there could have been a reason. By Wednesday, he's actually told you what the reason could have been for the mistake that was done on Monday. So you get into your Friday. For some people, for some people, it will be that now you speak more. You start off your sessions quiet, and then now you speak more.
Graduate to speaking more.
In our case, I would be now it's just
quiet,
nice,
enjoy each other's company.
Exactly. So whichever way you go, and that's one thing about Be Real, Be Raw, never in anything's realest form or rawest form has it ever been like anyone else. So whatever your journey is, whatever your love session is, go with the flow. Even with relationships, when I go to the gym, there's a point when I'm getting tired, but if I keep moving just a little more, you hit a surge. Same thing when it comes to relationships. There will be those moments. No one should ever tell you that everything is fine and dandy, or you feel butterflies the entire time. But you can create butterflies of your own that are not based off only emotions. So
I like that. I like that. And I think I like it because I feel like I'm in a stage similar to that. Maybe we are starting to ascend, because you guys, how long have you been married?
Oh gosh, I've been with OJ more than 20 years.
Yes, more than 20 years.
Yeah,
but I feel
more
like
than half a quarter of a century.
So you've had lots of time to experiment, to be annoyed, and then to calm down.
If anything, many people used to find us those days, and they're like, "But you guys are good," and I'm like, yeah, but it's been a journey.
Yes,
yeah, it's been a journey, and we've been doing it for so much longer.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do it as long as we did to be
have.
able to get to a place where you're both comfortable.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So I know the girlfriend technique or mode is something that you're going to talk about at Be Real, Be Raw.
Yes.
But like, can you give us a sneak peek into like what that is?
What that is, okay, but if I touch the tip of the iceberg, it comes down to planning. Yes, planning your life, planning time, because you have all these thoughts. Oh, I'd like my relationship to get better, but what are you doing
to get your relationship
better? And I remembered when I was a girlfriend, I literally used to take notes of everything he wanted.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never missed an appointment. When he spoke to me and maybe told me something was happening at the office, I was always sharp to remember that, oh, I need to follow up on this. How was his
Ask
day?
him about it after.
Yeah. In cases whereby maybe he comes home and he's having his hot cold move, which we all do. You remember, by the way, today he must have been having a board meeting. Take it easy.
Space,
but how will you know he's having a board meeting?
Listen.
But if you're talking at him, you're not listening to him, you don't know what's going on in his life. So you're coming with all your I'm telling you, communication is literally 70% of the job.
Yes.
So the girlfriend remembers. The girlfriend listens. The girlfriend takes care of herself.
Good point.
You understand me? You can't be complaining when people are in lingerie and for you are in yesterday's t-shirt with a chibog.
With a hair bonnet. Well, I don't come for a hair bonnet.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Then even we are going to delve into trauma.
Yes.
Mental health.
Yes.
Sometimes we are unable to make love the way we should be making love because there's something that happened some time ago, and you do not know that you have walked with that trauma into a relationship. Be Real, Be Raw is going to encourage women that before you start a new relationship, like Van was saying, I'm done, I'm moving forward, let's first heal.
Yes.
Let's remember, what are the things that you liked to do? I remember when we started Bump Love, my self-love, self-love was there, but self-care, God gave me a skin.
You don't do much.
Zero. Do you get? So there are those things that he gives you, and instead of getting them and nurturing them, you kind of sit on them, and then even with time, you completely forget. And yet these were the things that attracted this man to you. He saw a woman with vision, a woman with purpose, a woman who used to take care of herself. In my case, I was always a tomboy. But now, Rach, I do skincare.
Feminine. Do you now?
I do skincare.
Nice skin.
I do skincare. And I know, because you know my personality. I am white, I'm black, I'm blue, I'm yellow, I'm green, you know. But there are things that were just, I can't imagine being there and I'm scrubbing oily things into my face at night. These days I do. And whilst doing it, it's the small things.
It's the small things.
And even they notice. It's like, babes, I'm like, no, I'm still, you know, toning.
My routine.
Thanks. The only problem now with Oja, after I showed him he's like, no, I think you need to, these are the things you need. So I can bring like 3 toners. I just in my bathroom.
One toner.
Leave us alone. And that is also their way of saying that I acknowledge what you're doing. I can see you're trying to be better. And I'm with you on this journey. Which also, and when they do that, we also start trying to tap into those things that make them who they are. Less arguing if he wants to go out with the boys.
Just let him be.
That's his space. And when we argue less, they come home faster.
This is true.
They come home faster.
Yes, this is true. You know, Ben meets with a group of his friends every Saturday, and I am like the biggest supporter of that group. Because I'm like, you have to go this Saturday. There are days you can be like, today I don't feel like going.
You're like, huh?
You are going.
It is necessary.
Because when he goes, he's energized. He comes back full of ideas. We're talking with the boys. I'm like, okay, I see what that's doing for you.
Yeah.
And I think we were having a conversation earlier on how, you know, so many times men don't invest in their relationships when they are much younger.
Yeah.
And then when they're older, they end up, well, dying alone or becoming lonely because their family has kind of moved on. And I think that as a wife, you should encourage. You should be the biggest supporter of your husband going out. Of course, we're hoping that he has good friends, but you should be the biggest supporter of you saying, no, you go hang out with your friends.
Yes.
Because it does something for him.
Yes.
The same way it does something for you when you hang out with your girlfriend.
Exactly.
You know, you're able to release, you have conversations, you come back cleansed.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, now I can be a better wife, a better girlfriend.
Very
you
true.
know?
Very true.
So I
Very,
really
very
think
true.
that there's an art to being in a relationship. We grow our businesses, we nurture our children.
Yes.
We do so many things to improve other areas of our lives. But when it comes to relationships, I think we feel like it should just happen.
Yeah,
magically,
it's like
you
also
know?
nobody's teaching us,
That
right?
part,
And I think be real is what we're trying to create is a space where women can have, like the way the men have their boys, Be Real will be that other outlet where you can be in a supportive environment
Yes.
for personal growth,
Yeah.
learning, connection. Be Real, we have put together tools,
Wow.
you know, to aid people on this journey,
Yeah.
to have effective communication. We talk a lot, but not effectively.
Not effectively.
Yeah.
That's true.
Managing of our emotional health, conflict resolution, you know, turning moleholes into mountains is something that can easily be, you get
I know
me?
what you mean.
But
I know.
above all, that community, that sense of belonging, where, you know, I can tell my stories without somebody saying yekoza, because, well, they're all kwekozari. Yeah, that's I told you, it's a movement.
Yes.
And somebody was telling me that, you know, you should have sold this more, you should go to people's offices.
No.
And I said, be real,
Yeah,
is a personal journey.
it is.
It's a personal journey where, and the people who have signed up, they just come in the inbox. They're like, you know what? I need this.
I need this.
I'm happily. I feel lost.
Yeah.
I need this.
Yeah.
I'm happily married. I want to ensure I
that I stay
happily married. One is like, I haven't slept with my husband in 3 months, and
Whoa.
you're like, if you look at the main needs of a husband, of a man, respect, food, sexual
Sex.
connection.
Yes. So 3 months, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And it's bound to affect the marriage.
Without a doubt. With men, if sex is not working, then, you know, and that's why the B-roll. Remember Brian Semanda?
I remember.
We had him on Bump Club.
And I missed the show.
Oh, yes, him there.
Unintentionally. But I was glad I was not there because these girls, oh my gosh.
We went real and raw.
We went real and raw.
Yeah, but I think now is the time. I said it at the last show. We've had people have championed for financial literacy.
Yes.
But who is pushing for sexual literacy? And as we've said, sexual connection is one of the 3 core needs.
Of a man.
Right?
It should be for women as well.
Now let me tell you, once you fix this, even you
will. That is so true.
Oh.
It will become one of your core needs. And then you're able to meet each other's needs.
less nagging.
Yes.
Less actual verbal communication.
Yes,
We are coming together in spirit, in the physical parts of us. Oh, this is a movement I won't let you rate. I don't know where I'm going. I've said this in the past, that I don't have any fancy large plans. But it looks like every single thing I do,
it grows.
it grows
We have
because
seen it.
there's passion.
Yes.
I am passionate about seeing happily married people in amazing relationships.
Thriving.
And as I said, I have been on a 20-year case study.
That's
I don't know
long
how
time.
many couples have walked through my doors. I've listened to their stories, and I was like, if we had framework that everybody could just
Pick
dip
something
into.
from and say, I want to try this.
Yeah.
I wanna
And it's
try
not
this.
for everybody.
No.
No, this
It's
one.
not. Do you know what I think? I feel like Be Real, Be Raw is about conviction. I think it's about conviction because you must want it for it to be able to work for you.
Thank you.
The same way you say, I want to grow this thing or I want to nurture this thing is the same way you're thinking about your marriage. But if you feel about your marriage like, it's okay if it doesn't work. If it doesn't.
And most relationships are like that now.
It's like,
if it works, it works.
works.
If it doesn't, we can always change. No.
it's not going to work.
No.
And remember what Junior said at the last Good Wife meetup?
Yes.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
That marriage will give you exactly what you give it.
Exactly.
Maybe even some extra.
Yes.
Some extra garbage in there.
Yeah.
Be like, but I didn't bargain for this. It will give you exactly.
Exactly. And even
what
when
you
you
give
tell
it.
yourself that you didn't bargain for this, because I used to be on my high mantle, I was so hard.
How could he?
No. Both
Yes.
of us, how could we?
How could we? How could we? And
How
so
could
I
we?
think for me, my encouragement to people who are watching today, if you haven't signed up for Be Real, Be Raw, that want something better for your marriage, even though you're already happily married. And I like that you cited people who are saying, no, I'm happily married, but I want to ensure that I stay happily married.
Yes.
And there's something that I was having a chat with our best man a few weeks ago, and I was telling him how Ben and I are in a really good place. Like,
You guys have been in a really good form. We love love.
we're in a really good place, but we have not always been like this.
Of course.
Yes. So
And even today, you might not be in a really good place, but generally, yes.
you know, we're in a really good place. And I remember telling him that I got to a point where I was like, but there has to be more. We're not
That
fighting.
point.
We're not quarreling. We could use some money. But like, I'm talking about us, the union, Ben and I. Like when we sit in a car, we have conversations.
Yes.
Like there's no fire.
Yeah. But no, it's just okay.
It's just okay. I mean, this caffeine, I think. And he told me you need to work harder in those moments.
Yes. That was what I was about to tell you.
Work harder.
Yes.
Because you can really feel like you have arrived. Like, guys, we don't fight anymore. There's no bickering. I don't know, tell Ben what.
And that is when you have to, if you had pulled up your socks up to here.
Pull them.
Peku.
The West.
Because you can very easily plateau
That's it.
into mommy daddy mode.
And then when we are at the 20-year mark, I'm just like, who's this guy again?
Exactly.
I'm so bored. What's going on? And so I think for me, Be Real, Be Raw is about conviction. It's saying, no, I want better for my marriage.
And also, be real, keep people out of your ears and your relationship.
That's it.
You know, that gossip. Me don't tell me. The other day I was with my friend and we've been friends many years.
Yeah.
And she says, Kali, Angie, you've never changed.
Really?
Even in the old days, you would
were like
never
that.
ever tell me something bad about OJ.
Really?
Ash.
But that's a good thing.
Oh, yes.
It's a good thing.
You go talk about somebody else. The truth is, if someone came to you and say something about your best friend, you would stop them in their tracks,
Yeah,
right?
don't say
Then why
that.
don't you do it for the
For
love
your-
of your life?
Thank you.
You get me? So
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to that God. That's not him.
Yeah, I've refused.
Yeah. Then someone will say you're burying your head or whatever.
It is okay.
It's okay. All of us in our lives,
Let's all
if we
bury
all
our heads.
opened our cupboards, there are areas where we would, if people saw you'd be like,
eh.
So if I choose that I will drown out
The noise. Yes.
and remember that I'm not perfect, so he can't be perfect. And if there's an issue, let's sit, let's discuss, let's argue about it, and then let's make love and move on.
That's it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I think some of the things that break most of the relationships now.
There are
Yeah,
things that are
see.
salvageable.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are things that are solvable. So I think if you don't take away anything from this show, I think just purpose to educate yourself. Again, I was watching a podcast recently and the guy was talking about how they don't teach people how to be friends, and yet we see a lot of challenges in our mental health, and yet if we knew how to make friends and sustain friendships,
Yes.
maybe would not be seeing as much trouble when it comes to like our mental health, because then we
Yes.
have a support system. We have people to be our sounding board,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
But nobody says, Angie, so if you want to be a friend to so and so, this is what you need to do. What is a good friend? Can anyone say for sure what's a good friend? We are all just kind of winging it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I think it's the same with marriage. Yes, there's so many conversations happening. There's so much to talk about when it comes to marriage. But like, do you ever take time to say, let me read this book? Because maybe my husband keeps complaining about this thing, but maybe I don't know how to be this thing. So let me educate myself.
Yes.
You know?
The way we pick up books and educate ourselves on
Exactly.
entrepreneurship, financial literacy, I think we should do the same. Pick a book. And guess what? First, do again.
Tell me.
I've written a book.
No way.
Yes, girl.
You wrote a book?
Yes.
Where you've been? Where did you lead with this? Tell me.
Yes, I have written a book and it is out this November 15th. The Be Real, Be Raw.
Wow.
Rach, I won't lie to you. There was a point when I really didn't know where I was going. You know, like a shift just be.
Let me just go. The wind.
Oh Lord, Jesus, hold me.
Hold me.
But then when I just drowned out all the
noise.
noise, I slowly started setting things
Yeah.
aside. And that planning,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, everything happens for the right reasons.
This is
but
true.
living a planned, a scheduled life has been everything for
can
me.
imagine.
The anxiety is gone.
Yeah.
Sundays, I spend my Sundays scrubbing, oiling myself, reading. When people say you're an empty nest, I'm like, girl,
You have
I
no
missed
idea,
my babies,
yes.
but I have really, really grown into myself. And during this period, I was able to put together stories that will speak about how I lost my confidence and how I got it back.
Angie.
My self-awareness, I'm telling you. Being able to flirt with my husband again.
Wow.
You know, people be like, oh, she's always about OJ, but I'll not lie to you. When OJ and I are okay, everything
The world
else
is okay.
works.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I wake up happy, I'm upbeat, I make love to my man, he goes to town where
work
he's
happy.
bouncing.
Bouncing his step.
Do
Yes.
you understand?
Yeah.
Anything I ask for, we are able to communicate. I don't ask for the impossible because we are speaking on a, you know, on a regular. Man, I don't want to sound like no, I'm going to sound like that.
Yeah.
Life is so much better
Yeah.
when you are pushing together with your friend in the same direction.
love that.
Yeah.
I love
So the
that.
book is out.
Angie,
Yeah.
you surprise me.
I
You
do
really
that.
do. Like I did not. I didn't see that coming.
I do that. But
I
remember,
really
we talked
didn't.
about personality. The word I hear a lot when people know me is that you're constantly surprising
You
us.
do.
It's because I'm like that. I'm sweet, I'm sour, I'm
Yeah,
fire, I'm cold.
yeah.
Even me sometimes.
You also don't understand.
Girl, the billboard.
The billboard. Guys, no, let me tell you my story. Let me tell my side of the story. So, of course, I have been following Be Real, Be Raw, and I'm like, oh, Angie's doing a thing. So I'll be sharing on like my stories. And then I'm like, okay. So one day I think I was coming from Caramel, Nalia. I come down the valley, come up the hill. Then I'm like, I see Be Real, Be Raw. Angie's on a billboard. You know, I was smiling in the car from ear to ear. I was alone, thank God. But I was like, she is. And it's not a small billboard.
No.
It's massive.
No.
I'm like, wow, Angie.
Yeah.
I honestly could not wait to hear what this journey has been like.
Yeah.
So.
And you know, with me, even with pink, guys are like, oh, even with pink coconut, I'm not in a rush.
Not at all.
This event
Yeah.
is exclusive.
It's exclusive.
And it will remain, yes, we're looking for money, but it is
Exclusive.
exclusive because we know.
Yeah.
We know the product that we've put together.
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody. And it's going to grow organically.
Yes.
Same, someone's like, but we can, stir it. I was like, you see why pink coconut did what it did and stayed as long as it did?
Yeah.
One, I was not on social media. Social media will mess with your head.
Oh, it will.
You best get a team or somebody who gets in there.
It will. Right, that's really good advice.
You get me? When you want to build your baby, you build. Don't listen,
noise.
don't talk to anybody, don't anything. The other day I shot an entire reel in a bathtub. And you know why? Because I wanted to.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
So when you are building whatever you're building, drown out the noise. Get inside there. Same thing with your relationship. Drown out. I wish I could say that. Drown out. And when I say drown out the noise, I'm not saying end up with a serial killer.
Yes,
no.
Yes.
If you know that something is good, drown out the noise, get inside there and do your work. If I hadn't drowned out the noise, Be Real would still be an idea in my book. But the second the flyer came out, then I came with my dad. I was driving. We're coming back from where you see me or something like that. Then I told him, Papa, we are stopping here. He's like,
why?
Why?
Yes.
Kololo airstrip. The face came. He's like, Nalongo.
She's on a billboard.
My son sent a video on the family group.
Yes.
He's like, Mama, and someone would say, why did you decide to do that?
Yeah.
For some time in my life, I tried to play small. And small isn't me.
No, it's not.
No. And now I accept. Like, for example, I like when I'm used to somebody, I can talk the whole night. Before I used to say I was talkative, but now...
Depends on who you're with.
No, I'm a conversationalist.
Yes, you are.
So, even with Be Real, Be Raw, I'm not going small. I will not go small. I'm doing me.
And I have seen it. I see it on social media. I mean, when I saw the billboard, I was like,
I have an amazing team.
I can imagine.
I have an amazing team, but have you seen that cartoon that runs like this, and before you know it, it catches fire? Many times I have to stop, call myself kidogo. I'm like, whoa! Because things just seem to be aligning themselves. We have Be Real, Be Raw this November 8th in Brevard Sands. Yes, beautiful place. Yeah. So that's going to be from the 8th to the 10th.
To the 10th, okay. So it's a weekend, Friday to Sunday.
Yeah, Friday to Sunday. Then next year, April 20,
we'll get the date.
We'll get the date. Yes, we will be in Dar es Salaam, Ramada.
Oh.
The weekend after that, we will be in Arusha.
So this is Be Real, Be Raw.
Imagine.
Angie.
Yes, Rach, and I set my mind to something, I don't stop. I'm
so happy for you.
For this one, I know we will have the numbers, but not that. But at least we needed to start. We needed to start. Yeah. We needed to understand what does, what are people looking for? What are their expectations? So by the time we are done with this, we'll definitely be there. Whilst I'm still there, Tell me. They say you shouldn't tell your plans until they happen, but we might die before we reach there. So, thank you very much. In August, we are going to be in Lusaka.
Wow.
Zambia.
As in, you start local, and then before you even start, you are international.
Exactly.
This is so
I was like,
good.
what? You mean this video went this viral?
Yeah. Imagine.
I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, indeed.
And thank you to myself who got that epiphany moment to understand that it was time to pivot. Yeah. But also thank you to OJ.
Yeah, he deserves that.
Because sometimes, and for many of the girls, why Be Real, they don't always stay or come back, you know. So when you get this opportunity, jump in there and do it. Yes. Do it.
Do it, unafraid.
Unafraid all the way. So Brian Semanda is an expert, a professional sex expert.
I'm so happy for you, Angie.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I mean, I've picked so many things from our conversation today, but I think what has stood out for me is the breaking and building. And I think for any individual to thrive, let alone a wife, I think you need to ask yourself some tough questions.
Yes.
And that's the breaking.
Yes.
That's the breaking.
And they are tough.
Oh, yes, they are. Especially when you felt you were a certain way.
Yeah.
But me, I am a good girl.
Keep your good girl and get the work done.
Get the work done.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. So guys, 8th to 10th November.
Yes.
So how do people sign up?
On our socials.
Social media.
Kemi Omeke on Twitter. It's not called Twitter anymore.
X, girl. X.
On X, Instagram,
Yes.
TikTok, our handles are there, Be Real, Be Raw. We have a website. Please do come through. It is now at 2 million shillings for the entire program that will be inclusive of the transport, accommodation, full meals. We're going to have a picnic underneath the palm trees. We are going... Girl, we are even having, water yoga. We are doing meditation.
You want to educate yourself, Be Real, Be Raw is the place to be. 8th to 10th of November. And people, it's even going international. So I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know what you're waiting for. Thank you for coming through, Angie. I feel like this was like catch up. It was mostly catch up, actually.
Yes,
mostly catch up.
I want to come back next year, Rach.
To my show? To my
yes.
podcast? Oh, but of course.
When we are going in also countries.
But of course. Will you take me to Lusaka and to Dar es Salaam?
Will you manage the heat? And I was just thinking, what period? You know, my mom is from that side.
Yes.
I'm like, sometimes that heat with my menopause.
You'll manage.
Yeah. But I think it's important for girls to have a space. I call even older women, I call them girls.
Yeah.
Because girls are
Once a girl, always
cute.
a girl.
Girls are funny. Even just when you're addressed as, oh, that girl, there's a way, you start feeling.
Girls are warm.
Yeah. And girls are treated nice by boys.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
When you say woman, lady, it looks like you can handle yourself. But yes, we can handle ourselves, but we are beautiful, feminine, soft, sweet souls, and we should be treated as such.
We should. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here. Thank you all for watching this podcast. I hope that it helped you in some shape or form. Do let us know, of course, in our comment section. We'll be linking your contacts so people can know how to get in touch with you if anybody wants to sign up in our description box. Please subscribe to our channel. Bambi, I'm not going to beg you to subscribe.
Bambi, please subscribe.
Tell them to subscribe.
Yeah. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and subscribe to The Good Wife.
Thank you. Until next week. Bye-bye.